Elizabeth Street, Little Italy. Hangs with his pals, yeah, that's where he'll be. It's Vinny, a friend of mine. Stand-up guy from the Lower East Side. Take it from me, he's one of a kind. It's Vinny Valentine.
Who's better than you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Tell It Like It Is, the Vinny and Mariana show. As you can see, I'm by myself again. So, quick update. As you all know, Vinny has been in the hospital. He came down with pneumonia last week, and the doctors decided that they wanted to take care of him a little bit longer. So he will probably be in the hospital, I'm assuming, for another 24 to 48 hours. But it's a good thing because they're making him get to full health, and he'll be back hopefully in no time. Now, I wanted to mention really quickly that I'm so excited about this. This weekend, I'm actually going to Austin, Texas. I'll be traveling with my husband, and I'm meeting my parents there in Austin. We're actually going to attend the Formula One race, which I'm a huge avid fan of Formula One racing. I grew up watching Formula One with my father, and this is the first time that I'm ever going to see a race live. I usually watch it on television, and the same thing with my dad. We're making his dream come true, so I can't wait to see his face when he finally gets to see all these race car drivers that he's been watching for so many years. And I'm gonna be in Austin, Texas. I'm gonna put on my cowboy boots, I'm gonna have some steak, I just can't wait. It's the first time I'm gonna be in Austin, and I'm sure it'll be fabulous. So I'll let you guys know how it goes, and I'm really excited about that. Now for our show today. We have such a wonderful band with us today. We actually have two members of the band. The band is called Gent Band, and we have Greg Cooner and Kevin Griffin. So everybody, please give a warm round of applause to Gent Treadley.
When I say go home, time for you to stay. When I say go, go, I want you to stay, stay. When I say stop, stop, I want to see you play, play. When I say butch, butch, you can be so fake, fake, fake. When I say still, still, time for you to sway. Do one thing and you say another. Do one thing and you say another. You say another. Do one thing, you say another. When I say straight, straight, I want you to turn, turn. When I say cool, cool, I want to see you burn. When I say kill, you better put it on stun, stun, stun. When I say lights out, I've only just begun. Do one thing and you say another. Do one thing, you say another. Do one thing and you say another. Now get on down to my soul brotherhood. lights down. When I say lights out, I've only just begun. Do one thing and you say another. 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 Do one thing, you say another. Do one thing and you say another. Do one thing and you say another. Won't you give me one thing? You give me one thing. Do one thing, you say another. Do one thing and you say another. You do one thing and you say another. Do one thing and you say another. When I say stand still, time for you to sweat. Lights out, time for you to stay. When I say stand still, time for you to sweat. Yeah. Got some blues for us, KG? Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. You say I'm spending my money on other women. You taking money from someone else. Call up your mama, bound for nights ago. Call up your mama, bound for nights ago. Said now don't you worry, my poor young son, but don't you call my daughter no more. Come back home, baby. Try my loving one more time. Come back home, baby. Try my loving one more time. If you don't come right home right now, darling, I'm gonna lose my mind. accuse me, take a look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Say I'm spending my money on other women, you taking money from someone else.
That was great. That was so cool. Both
Thanks,
of you could come
Mariana.
and join me, please. And when they're coming over, just make sure if you like what you heard, check out their website. It's gent-treadley.com. So both Greg and Kevin are coming and joining me. Thanks so much. That was so cool. That was great. Thank you for joining me this
for having
evening.
us, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a treat. Thanks, Kevin. So, Greg, you're the founder of this band. You're the one behind the whole concept.
So
It's supposed to.
Elimination. I didn't start out as that way. It started
Oh,
out
you
as,
didn't?
It started out as a band of equals. And
Yes.
We still are equals, of course. But
And this was 20 years ago.
about 20 years we've been doing it, and I actually went through it. Different people who've been in the band. There's probably been over 40 people in the band over the last 20 years. But it started out. Mike Hymas was our guitar player. He passed on about 8 years ago. Much beloved, and we got Kevin on guitar now. We've got a great drummer working with Greg Salzer. We've got Kenny Brooks on saxophone, who's been playing a lot of dates with us recently. But it's somewhat of a kind of a changing cast of characters, kind of necessity when you're a working band in New York City.
Yes,
Everyone's got
absolutely.
other gigs.
Right. And
so-
you were coming from working with other NYC bands.
a lot of other New York
Yes.
bands, and I mean over the course of this band, I think what's enabled this band to kind of keep going is that we kind of have been able to also kind of latch on to other artists who we really admire, who we've been able to do some playing with.
Including Vince
we played,
Welnick.
Vince
from,
Welnick, who's
from
also onto the Great
Grateful Dead.
Drafter. Yeah,
Yes.
Vince, who founded the Tubes. Who's
Yes.
dear old Vince, God rest his soul.
I
But
know.
but he was a great guy, and we toured all over the country with him. Also did dates with Tompkins Stanton, the
Wow.
Grateful Dead. And we played many dates with Charles Neville from the Neville Brothers more recently. And so it's really gratifying for me and for the other guys who played in the band.
Yes.
In addition to having the a la carte Gent Treadley gigs, we're also trying to also play with some of our heroes.
Have you ever found it to be it's kind of difficult to have so many different band members here
yeah,
and
I mean-
there? Do you find time to rehearse, or how does that all happen?
I hope you're not referencing our performance.
No.
But
But I saw it. It happened within 5 minutes that you were just tuning up and just making sure
boy,
you were
right.
both on the same page.
Well,
It didn't take that long.
I've actually given a lot of thought to it recently. It's like ideally, yeah, you have a band that stays together, but
Right.
it's in reality, especially at our age, it's
Yes.
just like I think the whole concept of being in a band is something. It kind of makes sense when you're a younger kid, and when you're in your 20s, your 30s, kind of pushing. Every time you're like a 48-year-old man, it's kind of unhealthy to be in a band, just traveling around with a bunch of guys all the time. And also a lot of great artists who I really admire. It wasn't like they had a set band all the time. It was an ensemble type of thing.
They were moving around.
Yeah, and then certainly, you learn from everybody you play with, and everybody brings a unique skill set. So.
And how did these collaborations come to be? How did you start mixing with these other band members?
The thing with Vince started because I did back in like 2001 or 2. There's a band called Dark Star Orchestra, the national touring Grateful
Yes.
Dead tribute phenomenon. They just really are doing incredibly well. And during that period, I met Vince's promoter, Michael Gaiman, and he put me in touch with Vince. And at that point, kind of Vince was at odds. He was kind of taking. And he coming from the Grateful Dead, and then all of a sudden you're playing bar gigs. It wasn't a great scenario for him. I think it was difficult for him, but he loved to play, and
It was his passion. That's what he wanted to
It wasn't
do.
like and he didn't need to do it. He had a big estate in California, and he didn't need to go out and play these gigs really for the money. But he was definitely going to get paid. But it was more
Yes.
about he recounted a number of times like a conversation he had with a frequent conversation with Jerry Garcia, who also was slowing down, or there was pressure on him to keep touring. He's like, there's no retirement for guys like us, because once if you're an artist, you're not going to stop creating, and there's there's a little tension between art and commerce when you get at that level.
But it kind of gives life to your soul. That's how you keep on going, pretty much, because it's something that's innate in you that you just can't give up, no matter how old you are.
I think so.
Only thing worth waking up for.
Exactly, worth breathing for.
Yeah.
And Kevin, you were a part of You Melt, and then how did you join? When did that happen for you, that transition of joining this band?
Just a couple of weeks ago, actually.
You're kidding!
I'm the baby of the group,
No
for sure.
way,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
newcomer. Well, welcome.
Yeah. Well,
Amazing.
he's done a couple of gigs with You Melt's keyboard player, Zach Lasher.
I see. And then you kind of spotted him.
Well,
and
I'd seen Mel play before, and I said, I don't want to play with that guy. And then it didn't there wasn't really an opportunity to, but just recently I needed a guitar player, 2 weeks notice, and thank God Kevin was available, and like what I hear, so until he gets fed up with me. So
it's pretty amazing what you guys can do together.
Thanks.
And I really appreciate the whole acoustic vibe that you brought today.
One thing I really like about this band, and again, it's kind of a product of necessity, is you just gotta do what's right for the gig. I mean, I knew about this. You're not going to bring the whole band in here. It's good. I mean, you could, I guess, but
you could, but
the production issues and everything else. And then you want to be able to have a set. If someone wants to hire you for a wedding, a lot of musicians are like, oh, I don't do weddings. Of course, I'll play a wedding. And then you got to be able to do, play the part.
Cater to the event.
And make it. If you cater to the event, it's going to be fun for everybody. And certainly, I enjoy playing it more when when people are enjoying themselves.
Right.
So we played everything from weddings to casinos to county fairs to a lot of glorified keg parties.
And speaking of which, you're going to New Orleans soon.
I am going to New Orleans. I don't think Kevin. Try to convince Kevin to go.
But I've never been. I hear it's really fun.
I'm really looking forward to it.
A little bit more.
Oh no!
We'll see. I might be able to convince you.
But we're going down next week. I'm doing some dates with my old friend David Hickey down in New Orleans, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But we're playing this week up at Colgate University on Halloween, up in upstate New York. So looking forward to that. And just keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as far as you have these upcoming gigs. Do you have some sort of goal or ideal in mind? Because I know you have 2 albums that you came up, right?
Right.
Two, more or less.
Yes.
Once that was
there's a live one and there's a studio
the live one with
and
Vince.
And it's the other thing is it is. There's a goal. I want to try to get the next record together. But every time we start getting a record together, the guys who played on the record are moving on to other things. So it's hard to keep the momentum going.
Well, having a star-studded band, it's kind of difficult to keep everybody in one place.
I'm kind of actually trying to get in the mindset with other artists who I really love, and not to compare myself. Steely Dan. It wasn't really a band. It was basically 2 guys, and they got a bunch of great players, different albums each time, and different songs from track to track. And that's it's fine too. In my mindset, a lot of my favorite bands, though, you get certain organic creativity when you've got the same guys playing together. A certain number, you get a critical mass going.
And with your first album, Tread Gently, you had 8 original songs. Who wrote? Was it a combination of everybody?
There was the drummer Tom Kalin wrote a song. I wrote most of those songs though because by the time we recorded that record, it was again the same type of thing. It was Mike Hymas had passed on. Tom Kalin was playing with us sometimes, but not always. So there was a kind of thing where you got to have some kind of impetus to get yourself in the studio and pay for it and all that. So if I'm going to do all that, I'm going to record my material.
Of course.
So that's the way that worked. But my idea would be much more a more collaborative type of project. But and that's what this is. But everything takes time.
Well, and also just to have so much, there's so many different people and the backgrounds coming in and what they've been from, just their experiences also brings more light into the work, I feel like.
It's true, but you get quality of musicians like Kevin comes in, he really, first of all, he's familiar with the whole idiom. Right? And there's a lot of other musicians who've joined the band, they're great musicians, but they don't know really, let me do a lot of cover songs. And either you got ears for that and you grew up listening, you know all the songs, or you don't. And then, Kevin is actually more obscure songs, he actually knows them already, and so it makes it a lot easier. It's always a process.
It's always a process, yeah. Is there any specific I mean, this is mainly a rock band. Is there any specific or any other genre that you would like to go into as far as testing the waters a
Right.
bit?
I thought as I get older, kind of makes more sense to kind of do more jazz.
Oh.
It feels more natural.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
actually,
the blues.
I've
is
actually
a-
been playing with my son a little bit. He's a guitar
Oh.
player, and he's a little child prodigy, a
You're
jazz guitar
kidding.
player.
How old is he?
Miles. He just turned 16 last week.
Wow.
So, of course, he
Any
doesn't-
inclination of him maybe
He
doing
would-
some guests?
Oh yeah, he's played with. He's played in
Oh,
the
he
band.
has.
He sits in, whenever we can convince him to. But he's not that enthusiastic about playing with Dad. You know what I mean? He's at that age.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a precocious little guy.
That's
Not so
wonderful.
little guy. He's 6'3", but
Bigger than me.
bigger than me.
6'3".
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But so yeah, jazz. I mean, that's that kind of music is obviously it's much more of a challenge as a musician to try to do more. And it's not really where I'm coming from. I
Right.
did play in jazz band, growing up, but it's, that's kind of the direction I see kind of pursuing a little bit more in the future. But yeah, I like all kinds of music.
And when did you first start? When did this
I've been
notion
playing,
of
yeah, I've been playing
being
since I was 11 or 12 years old. My twin brother was a guitar player.
Oh, wow.
And he was quite good, and I saw the girls were taking an interest in him, and I said, I want to get in on some
That
of that.
might
So I think I'm
work
gonna take
if
up
I
the-
learn an
If I play the
instrument.
bass, I can even actually get a gig with my brother, and so that's what I did.
Did you end up taking lessons?
Took lessons,
and-
no, high school, grammar school lessons, and I had a couple. I didn't do a whole lot of studying outside of school, and I certainly didn't pursue it in college. I mean,
So it was more
I tried
self-taught in a way?
A lot of a lot
Yeah.
of self-taught.
And how about you, Kevin? How did this music career start for you?
Well, probably in the womb. From what I'm told, my parents used to play the music real loud from before I was born and for all the months and months afterwards.
Yes.
Then, 4th grade, when they start the band instruments, I saw the shiny saxophone and stood up and said, I want to play the saxophone, and they gave me a clarinet.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was a cool thing because, clarinet, smaller fingers. I mean, 4th grader.
Right.
By the time I switched over to saxophone later, I was already, pretty much flying on the thing. So
That's great.
doing that, and then just, I don't know, my dad used to take out his guitar on Sundays after.
So music definitely ran in the family. It was
Oh,
in-
absolutely. My mom played the flute. She
Oh, my
played the
goodness.
glockenspiel in high school.
Yeah,
my
so
dad
this was something that was meant to be for you.
Yeah, my dad played guitar in college for free beer, back in his day,
Well,
father like
there
son.
you go.
Yeah.
Well, I just got the 5-minute warning, which means that we don't have that much time left. Things happen fairly quickly here.
Time flies. Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining me today and
Thank you,
for
Mariana.
showing us your absolutely wonderful music. And hopefully we'll see you again soon when
Hope so.
Vinny gets back. And I hope that you enjoy this journey now that you're
Oh,
with
yeah.
Gent Tretley. It's absolutely amazing what you guys do, and just keep the music going.
Thanks.
It's all we can ask for. So if I can ask for one more song.
Oh, we'd love
Please.
to. Yeah. Thank you.
It would be such a treat. Thank
Yeah.
you again so much.
Thanks, Mariana. Have a great time in Texas.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Enjoy
looking
Austin.
forward to it. Once again, everyone, Gent Tretley.
And this is a song actually we wrote for Vince Welnick. It's called Keep On Walking.
I remember what it told me when we were on the road. Well, devil take the hindmost if the herd is gonna roll. Keep on walking, a long way to go home. Keep on walking, a long way to go home. Keep on walking. of coffee or a tank of propane. He kept on walking, well, till he was insane. Keep on walking, a long way to go home. Keep on walking, a long way to go home. Keep on walking, a long way to go home.
Elizabeth Street, Little Italy. Hangs with his pals, yeah, that's where he'll be. It's Vinny, a friend of mine. Stand-up guy from the Lower East Side. Take it from me, he's one of a kind. It's Vinny Velatine.